At the end of this video, you should know and understand how to determine the value of an unknown amount in a proportion. The nature of the problem. One of two amounts is known and their ratio is given. For example, Aman and Zach share some money in the ratio 3:2. Zach receives £40. How much does Aman receive? The nature of the solution. Solving for an unknown in any kind of problem suggests setting up an equation connecting the unknown value to the known values, then solving for the unknown. In determining an unknown in a proportion, the equation is very easily set up by considering a proportion is the equality of two ratios, a ratio is a division, therefore the equation is the equality of two divisions. To help set up the equation, the data given in the problem is organised in a table, and we'll now see how this is achieved. Organising the given data. Here is our example problem. The data is organised in two columns, one for Aman and one for Zach. We'll use A and Z as the column headings. The table uses two rows. The first row records the given ratio. The ratio 3:2. The second row records the ratio in terms of actual amounts. Aman's actual amount is unknown. We'll use the letter X to represent this amount. The second row records the ratio X:40. We'll now develop three methods for determining the unknown amount. Method 1. The given ratio 3:2 and the ratio of actual amounts X:40 are equivalent ratios. Writing these ratios in the fraction notation of division gives X divided by 40 equals 3 divided by 2. Removing the divide by 40 on the left hand side leaves X remaining by itself. Divide by 40 is removed by multiplying by 40, and to maintain equality, the right hand side is also multiplied by 40. So we have X equals 3 divided by 2 times 40. Removing the common factor 2 from 40 and 2, X equals 3 times 20, which equals 60. We'll record this on a sticky note for comparison later. Method 2. The ratio of Aman's amount to Zach's amount, 3:2, informs us that Aman receives 3/2 of Zach's amount. Therefore, X equals 3/2 of 40. Again, removing the common factor, X equals 3 times 20, X equals 60. We'll record this on a sticky note for comparison later. Method 3. In going from the first row to the second row, 2 becomes 40 by multiplying by 20. Therefore, since the two ratios are equivalent, 3 must be multiplied by 20 to become the value of X. We have then X equals 3 times 20, which equals 60. We'll record this on a sticky note. There are another two methods for determining an unknown amount in a proportion. However, these are only needed for solving changing ratio problems, which is higher tier only. So these will be covered in the higher tiers section, changing ratios. We'll now compare the three methods recorded on the sticky notes. Comparing the three methods. Method 1 produces an equation where the unknown must be isolated before it can be calculated. Methods 2 and 3 both produce an equation where the unknown does not have to be isolated first. Method 3 involves only one operation: multiply 3 by 20. So this method is the most efficient of the three. However, this is only because the multiplication factor 20 is determined off the top of our head, as it were. Let's see how to use the method when the actual amount is not an integer multiple. For example, if Zach's amount was £15 and not £40, multiplying 2 by 15 gives 30, then dividing by 2 gives 15. The factor then is 15 halves. So we now have x equals 3 times 15 halves. So we now have 45 divided by 2, which equals 22.5. The final answer is written as x equals 22.50, since this is an amount of money, £22.50. £22.50. The multiplication factor of this method is referred to as the scale factor, and the method is called scaling the given ratio. Solving a proportion when the unknown is second in the ratio. Using the Aman-Zach problem, we'll now look at determining Zach's amount given Aman's amount. In the table organising the data, x now represents Zach's amount, and the ratio using actual amounts is the ratio 60 to x. Using method 1, we have x divided by 60 equals 2 divided by 3. X equals 2 divided by 3 times 60. Moving the common factor 3, x equals 2 times 20, x equals 40. Using method 2, Zach receives 2/3 of Aman's amount. X equals 2/3 of 60. Removing the common factor 3 again, x equals 40. Finally, using method 3, the scale factor for 3 to become 60 is 20. X equals 2 times 20. X equals 40. You should now know and understand how to solve for an unknown amount in a proportion.